over 1,000 years, the Mac Giolla Phadraigs ruled over a vast tract of land in counties Laois and Kilkenny, building castles and fortresses to protect their people and property. The territory, known as the Kingdom of Ossory, stretched from the Slieve Bloom Mountains in the north to the banks of the rivers Barrow and Suir in the south. But Strongbow came. Strongbow evicted them from a large portion of it. Their successors waged war on the Normans for centuries, but ultimately they made peace and intermarried with the Normans and took on an anglicised form of their name, the Fitzpatricks. They accepted from Henry VIII the title for head of the family of Lord Baron of Upper Ossory. Their seat was in Castletown, County Laois, where in the mid-1500s one Barnaby Fitzpatrick captured the castle there from old rivals, the Ormonds. Moving through the generations, Bernard Fitzpatrick inherited the title 2nd Baron Castletown from his father, John Wilson Fitzpatrick. This transpired in 1883 on the death of his father. He also inherited from his brother Richard an estate of over 22,000 acres known as the Ossory Estate, situated in the southwest of County Laois. For centuries, members of the Fitzpatrick family had lived in Grantstown Castle until a fierce battle with Cromwellian forces when it was damaged by cannon fire, causing it to crack and render it uninhabitable. Born in 1849, the Right Honourable Bernard Edward Barnaby Fitzpatrick, 2nd Baron Castletown, was educated at Eton College and Brasenose College in Oxford, obtaining degrees in history and law. He was a bit of a lad while in college and had a reputation of being handy with his fists. He kept a pet python in his apartment, which one day escaped and almost strangled his maid, but he returned just in time to save her. He served in the 1st Lifeguards and was for a time stationed in Egypt, where he was awarded a medal for bravery. He was later appointed High Sheriff of Queen's County, now County Laois, and was elected as a Conservative Member of Parliament for Portarlington. Upon his father's death, he resigned this position and entered the House of Lords. He was a colourful character and liked to wear a kilt in the Fitzpatrick tartan to social gatherings, and did so on his first day in the House of Lords. He was later to become Chancellor of the Royal University of Ireland and admitted to the Irish Privy Council. He became an honorary colonel of the 4th Leinster Regiment, a position he cherished. In 1908 he was created a Knight of the Order of St. Patrick. King Edward and Queen Alexandra travelled to Ireland for the investiture in a planned, lavish ceremony in St. Patrick's Hall at Dublin Castle. But a few days before the ceremony it was discovered that the Irish crown jewels had been stolen. The king was furious and cancelled the ceremony in disgust. Lord Castletown married the Honourable Ursula Clare Emily St. Leger, only offspring of Hayes St. Leger, 4th Viscount Doneraile. He spent much of his time at Doneraile Court, running both estates and managing his many business interests such as mining, real estate, ranching, and railroads. He held up to 6 company directorships. He returned to Grantstown for the shooting season, where he and his wife entertained friends. Guests included Dr. Douglas Hyde, first President of Ireland. Grantstown was known as the best shoot in the British Isles, and an invitation to shoot there was a privilege. He was a keen ornithologist and developed a bird enclosure at Doneraile Court for rare aquatic birds. He was president of the Wild Birds Protection Society and wrote many books, including Ego, his autobiography. He was a supporter of the Irish language and a founding member of the Celtic Association, which was formed to promote everything Celtic, including literature, folklore, dress, custom, music, and language. He travelled extensively to exotic places such as Lapland, Morocco, Madras, Ceylon, South Africa, and Madagascar. Much of this for big game hunting. He preferred to be known as the Mac Giolla Phadraig and addressed as Mac Giolla Phadraig, though in family circles he was known affectionately as Barney. He and his wife maintained a fashionable townhouse in Eaton Square, London, where they entertained lavishly. Among the many guests was Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes from the United States. He was one of the most important legal scholars of the 20th century, and he visited with Lady Clare at Doneraile many times. Baroness Castletown died in 1927 and is interred in Doneraile in the churchyard opposite the main gate of Doneraile Court. Lord Castletown died in 1937 and is interred in Killarmo churchyard near his Grantstown home. There were no children in the marriage, and the estate in Doneraile passed to the Irish state, and Grantstown estate passed to Lord Castletown's nephew, Lieutenant Colonel Skeffington Smith. At the foot of his grave in Killarmo is a large ogham-inscribed granite pillar representing the Celtic nations, a gift from the Celtic Association presented to him 25 years before his death. A man of remarkable integrity, energy and endeavour, he represented the last of the great Mac Giolla Phadraig chieftains who ruled for centuries in the kingdom of Ossory. He was respected by all who came to know him during his interesting and productive life.